Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This week's video is all about camera gadgets. Are you wondering what to buy your loved one or friend or family who is into videography or photography? Here's my top 10 affordable gadgets for the camera enthusiast. I thought I would put together a list for you of possible ideas for presents for your family or friend who is into photography or videography. This is my top 10 list of budget-friendly, affordable camera gadgets. So hopefully this might help you out. These are already quite good prices, but some of them are also already discounted. But Black Friday and Cyber Monday is actually next weekend, not this weekend coming, but I've already seen lots of places doing kind of pre-Black Friday deals. So some of these on this list are actually already discounted. I'm going to talk to you and show you some of the things on this list, but I don't have all of them, so I will be popping in some slides or some photos of the ones that I don't have on me. All the links are going to be down below. I will try to update them if they get discounted even more. But I will also try and write a blog post if I have time to do that in my schedule. And if I do that, I will link to the blog post down below as well. So number one, I'm going to start with filters. Filters are actually pieces of glass that you attach to the front of the lens, and they have different purposes. So different types of filters achieve different effects. I have Gobi here, which is a really good make of filters. The first filter that I will suggest to you, especially for people who actually like taking photos of landscapes, that kind of thing, a circular polarizer is a really good buy. So what a circular polarizer does is it takes away unwanted reflections on non-metallic surfaces like glass or water. It is also very good at adding contrast to skies. So you've got a blue sky and some clouds. It can add some nice contrast to those types of scenarios. So the link down below is actually for both a UV filter and a circular polarizer. Now it's for a 67mm lens. I wanted to point out that please, if you are getting filters, then get the right size filters, because there are different sizes for different size lenses. So make sure you get the right one. My second gadget is also a filter. It's magnifying filters. Now these work the same way as the circular polarizers in that they attach again to the front of the lens, and what a magnifying filter does is basically allow you to get closer to your subject. So these are good for macro photography, for getting in really close to subjects. If you don't have a dedicated macro lens, then these are a good alternative. Another option, my third option, is again to do with macro photography. You can get extension tubes. Now, if you get extension tubes, then they have to be also the right ones for the lens that you're going to be using, but also the right ones for the type of lens. It's not just the size, you need to look at the make of the lens and your camera. Right, so number 4 is a Joby Gorillapod. These Gorillapods, this is what it looks like. These are great because you can use them as mini tripods for a desk, but you could also use them for both your camera or for a flash or a different light source if you wanted to. So you basically attach whatever it is, the flash or the camera, onto this, and then you can use it as a tripod to keep it steady, or you could wrap it around, say, I don't know, a rail or a pole, because basically you do this to it and it stays pretty stable. Now for these, there are again different sizes, so make sure that you get the right size for whatever you want to put on it. So if you're putting a camera on it, look at the weight of the camera and the lens, and make sure that the Gorilla tripod will actually hold that weight of your camera or your lens or your flash. So my fifth one is a camera strap. Now the camera strap that usually comes bundled in with the camera kit isn't the most comfortable, it has to be said. So sometimes it's actually quite nice to swap those out with something that's more comfortable. My examples here are the Optech camera strap loop, which is very padded on the shoulders, which is quite nice. And you could also get a sling type like this one, and this one's already been discounted this week. Right, so number 6 is actually a camera cleaning kit. Now I've linked a cleaning kit down below. It includes lots of different things and to keep your camera and your lens clean. It's got kind of lens cleaning cloths and also little bits and pieces for cleaning the sensor if that's something that they're likely to do. Now this is a dust blower, it's an imp air blower. I might link this down below as well, it's sold separately. This thing is really good for keeping dust off of your sensor. Now if the dust doesn't come off with the air blower, then you have something like this, the visible dust. You're going to charge it up and then you wipe the brush very gently over your sensor. Now, depending on who you give it to, they may or may not be comfortable cleaning their own sensor, but the kit below will certainly get them started with keeping the outside of the camera and the lens clean. Number 7 is a remote shutter release. This is probably slightly more expensive than the rest of them, and again, really useful for people who like taking landscape photos or maybe astrophotography where you have to keep the shutter open for longer and you want to minimize camera shake. So this is a very good bit of kit to get those types of people who like doing those types of photography. Now the last 3 I'm going to talk to you about are related to light. Now here in the UK it does get very dark very quickly in the winter, in the autumn and winter, and so for you to continue doing photography without a lot of natural light, then you would probably be looking at adding additional light sources. Now most people probably already have a flash, because that's probably the first extra gadget that you get when you've got your kit, so I'm not including a flash in this list. So what I am including are other types of light modifiers or an extra light source. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is the 5-in-1 reflector. I will show you what it is like, but basically it's foldable, and this is one. You can use it to reflect light, so if there's a little bit of window light, then you can actually use it to reflect light. I might actually leave this out because it is quite dark. I'm going to leave that out. And it's a 5-in-1 because you can get a silver side and you can get a dark side. This is for when you want to take away too much light. And there's also, let me see if I can show you. So you can unzip it and there's a gold side to there, and again a white one, transparent one, again that diffuses light. But I am going to leave the silver one out and see if it makes a difference. How's that? Is that making a difference? I don't know. Right, okay, so the other one is an additional light source. It's a mini LED light. This is really good for if you're videoing something as well. This is what it looks like, a Godox one. It could be mounted onto the camera or onto, where's my little Moby? Here it is, mounted onto there. Actually, I usually use this when I'm videoing sometimes and it's too dark. The only thing with these is that they can get very, very bright, so you need to be wary if you're photographing people. It might be too bright for them if it's really close. So you need to basically make sure that the distance and the strength is okay for your person if you are photographing or if you are videoing someone. Right, and the last one is a mini flash diffuser. This is what I mean. So you put your flash in there. I don't have my flash out, sorry, but I will put this basically in there. So pretend this is a flash. Put it on and it diffuses the light like this. What that means is that it makes the light softer, so it's not so harsh and a bit more natural looking. So it's not really big, that's why it's mini, so it's quite useful for the flashes that actually either go on top of the camera or an off-camera flash that you just a small one that's somewhere else. I mean, flash diffusers kind of come in varying sizes. They can be absolutely huge. The bigger, the softer the light is basically. So yeah, but this one is a mini one for a mini flash. Really useful gadget. Right, I think that's it. That was 10 all in all. So I hope that's useful and that's given you some ideas. Please share with friends or family who you might want to give ideas to for possible Christmas presents. Also tell me down below if you'd be interested in, say, a mid-range or a kind of luxury level of gift ideas for the camera enthusiast, and I can make that for you. Thanks, please subscribe and see you again next time. Bye!